Hi, this is the next video on the TI BA2 Plus, and it's a quick one on just how to calculate the number of days between dates. But in financial math, there are actually two different systems for doing that. One is kind of a shorthand that was developed over time to make the calculation easier if a little approximate. So we'll go through both methods, and they're both implemented on the date worksheet, which is on the number 1 right there. So let's just pull that up. If we have to calculate a time between irregular dates, we want to come up with a fractional value for the number of years between the two dates. And there are two systems. One's the actual calendar time, so you count the number of days and you just divide by 365, which is an approximation of a year. So you take the number of days, count them exactly, and divide by 365, and that's the fraction that you use for number of years. And the other is the 360 system, or the ordinary simple. So in that system, you assume every month is 30 days, and every year is 360 days. And then you calculate t by each month counts each whole month in between is 30 days, and then you fill out the days at the end to make 30-day months. And you never have to think about is November 30 or 31 days or whatever like that. Every month is 30 days. So that's kind of why it's called ordinary simple. All right. So let's show how to do this on the calculator. So we use the date worksheet, which is on number 1. So I'm going to click that by going second. Oh, I have to turn the calculator on. Second date. All right, and the first thing that comes up is date 1, DT1. And you see that it already has a date in there. We want to change that. And here's how we're going to do that. We're going to start with October 14th, 1998, and you enter that in decimal notation. The month goes before the decimal point, so you'd say 10 point, and then you type the day number 14, and then you type the 2-year 98 after that of the 4 digits of the year. So the date calculator is not going to help you much if you live to the year 2100, because it won't know that you meant 2098. It's going to think that you meant 1998. You'll have to buy a new calculator then. So that's planned obsolescence for you. Okay. Now, in fact, the format of the years has actually changed in the last 25 years as well. So be prepared to buy new calculators if this we get a little bit farther on in time. Okay, now we've done DT1. Now I haven't entered it yet. It's still waiting for me to enter. So you say enter. And there it is, 1998. You notice there's both a compute and an enter button. So the date worksheet also allows you to work out the date. Like if I wanted to say, what's the date going to be 300 days from this one, I'd be able to do that with the date calculator. But anyway, let's go on with this example. You have to hit down arrow to get to the next entry, and it's date 2, the second date. And we're going to put in April 28th, 2002. So the way we would enter that is 4.28, and then we would say 02. And it's going to interpret that as 2002 because that's the closest 02 to us right now. And we'll get, there we are, April 28, 2002. And if we go one more step, days between date, and you see that this is a compute button. And so if we hit compute, well, first of all, let me show you the buttons here. So that was 4.2802. And we get to days between dates. Now let's see how many days are in between. And it says, there it is, I hit compute and it says 1,292 days. So that is the exact day count between the first date to the second. And actually this date calculator calculates it exactly, meaning accounting for leap year and so forth in these years. So anyway, there's that. Now, if we go to the down arrow again, you notice it says ACT. That means that we were actually using actual calendar time, which is the default. When you reset your calculator, that's where it goes. But if I want to use the 360 time, I have to say second set. And now it's 360. And now if I go back, and all I have to do, it's still got my dates in there. It's got October 14th, which we would fill out with 16 days to make a 30-day month. Then we count the number of months, and then we count 28 days to April 28th. And if you do that on paper, you're going to find out, when we have to hit compute again because it still has the number from the old calculation. And there it is, 1,274. It went down by about 20-some days. So with the 360 system, we get that. So you might think that that's a big difference. But here's the thing. When we calculate the fraction, all right, so we changed it to 360, and we calculated it again. We got 1,274. If you take 1,292, I have to wait for that to go away. Okay, 1,292 divided by 365 is 3.5397. And if you take 1,274, and remember now that we're dividing it by 360, you get 3.5389. And they're within 0.0008 of each other. So that's why the 360 system is made to be a reasonably good approximation of the actual calendar time in terms of fractions of years. So that's how it works. Anyway, that's a little explanation of the date function. By the way, if you wanted to calculate, like let's say we wanted to calculate what's the date, say 2,000 days, I can hit enter there, and there's 2,000 days after date 1. And now I can say compute. Oops. Okay, now we're 360. Sorry, I forgot. We're still in the 360, so you have to go to actual calendar time. There we go. Okay, now let's do it again. Oops. Second date. And, okay, now I've got 2,000 in there. And if now it has compute right here with actual calendar time, you can say compute. And there it is, April 5th. So 2,000 days after October 14th, 1998 is April 5th, 2004. So that's some of the things you can do with the date calculator. All right, on to the next topic.